Eli Odell, a Navy SEAL with a distinguished career, had embarked on what was supposed to be a routine covert mission in the Middle East. As the leader of his unit, Eli was adept at navigating complex situations, but nothing could have prepared him for the chain of bureaucratic delays and political turmoil that extended his deployment indefinitely. Far from home, Eli constantly thought of his wife, Penelope, and their son, whom he mostly saw growing up through sporadic video calls and pictures. Each update was a reminder of what he was missing. He kept a worn photograph of his family in his uniform, a beacon of hope in the desolate landscapes of conflict. As the months turned into years, his simple desire to return to his small-town life became a quest filled with unexpected trials. His journey began with a harrowing encounter reminiscent of Odysseus's battle with the Cyclops. Eli and his team were captured by a corrupt local warlord who controlled a small, war-torn region with an iron fist. Held in a makeshift prison, Eli used his training to devise a plan, leading to a daring nighttime escape that relied on cunning and stealth rather than brute force. Once free, Eli faced another set of challenges. While stationed temporarily at a coalition military base, he was confronted with the modern-day equivalent of the Siren's Call. The base offered an escape from the harsh realities of war through parties and alcohol, tempting Eli with the allure of forgetting his troubles and abandoning his mission to return home. It took all his resolve to turn away from these distractions, remembering the faces of Penelope and his son waiting for him. Eli's odyssey took him next to a cosmopolitan city where he encountered a woman who ran a local NGO. Charismatic and passionate, she embodied the modern-day Circe, offering Eli a tempting alternative life. She presented him with the possibility of a fresh start, away from the shadows of war, where he could use his skills for peaceful ends. However, after a deep internal struggle, Eli recognized this as yet another detour from his path home and reluctantly said his goodbyes. Back in the U.S., Eli discovered that his prolonged absence had attracted a group of opportunists who tried to take advantage of his family's vulnerability. These modern-day suitors were trying to convince Penelope to sell the family's land, promising her a more comfortable life without her husband. Fueled by tales from their son of his mother's steadfast refusal to yield, Eli's resolve hardened. Finally arriving home, Eli found his once peaceful town changed. He approached his house under the cover of darkness, observing from afar as the interlopers laughed and enjoyed what they thought they had stolen. Using skills honed over a decade of warfare, Eli strategized their removal, reclaiming his property and family in a tense, calculated confrontation that echoed the climactic return of Odysseus. The reunion with Penelope and his now teenage son was both joyful and fraught with the pain of lost time. The days that followed were a mix of celebration and solemn reflection as Eli adjusted to a life without conflict. His return was not the end of his journey, but the beginning of another, one of healing and reconnection. In the quiet moments of his new life, Eli often reflected on his experiences. He realized that his true journey was about much more than the physical distance traveled. It was about the resilience of the human spirit, the enduring strength of familial bonds, and the realization that sometimes the hardest battles are fought within the confines of one's own heart. His story, a modern epic, serves as a testament to the challenges faced by many veterans returning home. In a world far removed from the mythical islands and creatures of Homer's Odyssey, the essence of the quest remains the same, a hero's journey back to where the heart resides.